Hey everyone, welcome to Soul on Fire. We're going to ignite the passion within. I am Noelle Agape and I am your host. And today we are going to learn so much about the health and wellness industry. We're going to go deep, deep, deep into the mind-body connection. Guys, thank you for being here and thank you for the people that are watching this on the replay. I'm so excited because today we have an amazing guest for you today. We have Master in Fitness and Mindset. She is going to teach you how to really go deep, deep, deep into your mind-body connection, and we're going to make the world a better place by bringing this beautiful light out into the world. First, I want to give you guys a couple life hacks. Again, my name is Noelle Agape. I'm a leading expert in health, wellness, and consciousness. Thank you for being here today, guys. We're so excited because we're going to teach you about your body. We're going to teach you about your mind. We're going to teach you about your soul and making that connection between your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. And just a few little life hacks before we bring Taylor on is some fun facts is that when you live consciously on a daily basis, right, guys, and you're thinking about your body as a vessel, when you're thinking about who you are and how you get to a better version of yourself, see, guys, it just doesn't come naturally to you that you just say, okay, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be the best version of myself, as much as we all want to do that, right? What happens often is life teaches us through lessons, whether it's through sickness or whether it's through, things like emotion and all distress, anxiety, things happening in life. That means actually you're not connected with your mind and your body. And so when you have the mind-body connection, that is truly when you are deep, deep, deep connected to your soul. And so you are connected to your soul's purpose on the highest level. How do you do that? You connect to your body by living consciously, right? And so what I invite you guys to start thinking about doing, and just a quick life hack, is one, every day I wake up and I talk to my body. I literally talk to my body and I say, okay, what does my body need today, right? Does my body need water? Does my body need exercise? Does my body need nutrients that are, good food that is putting in my body? The next step beyond that is you have to manage your thinking, right? Is it, okay, what am I thinking? Oh, yeah, I'm really feeling angry right now. Why am I feeling angry? And beyond that, right, you have to literally start thinking about the things that are triggering you in your life and the energies that are around you in your life. And we're going to go deep into making the mind-body connection and deep, deep, deep into just the energetic fields and everything with Taylor, because she's a boss babe. She's incredible. She's beautiful. She's conscious. And she really, truly just brings light to this world in such an incredible gift. And with her beautiful young age, she brings so much wealth and so much knowledge. So guys, thank you so much for being on. Stay till the end because we are going to have a quick Q&A and you can ask Taylor and I anything about the body, anything about wellness, anything about health, and anything that you are thinking about that you have, that's blocking you and stopping you. If you feel like in any way that there's anything stopping you, 90% of the time it's fear-based. And what does that mean, right? 90% of the time when you have a block from where you want to be to where you are right now, the core emotion that you have to deal with is fear. And so one little life hack that I'm going to give you guys before I bring Taylor on is, how do you deal with fear? Because fear is such a tremendous component in everybody's emotional well-being, right? And so fear, what I say all the time is every time I'm doing something or moving to the next level in my life, I use fear as a motivator as opposed to fear as a debilitator. And what I do is, instead of it triggering me, then I have a relationship with fear, just like I have a relationship with my body, and just like I have a relationship with money, and just like I have a relationship with, my partner and the people and my children. You have to have a relationship with your emotions, guys. That's the most important thing. So what do I do with fear? I take fear and I pretend like it's a person, and I have fear, sit down and I have a conversation with fear. And I'm like, okay, fear, I see you. You're here. What does that mean? What are you teaching me? Right? And so I'll have a conversation about what it's teaching me. I'll have a conversation with my body. What are you trying to teach me? If I have aches, if my back is aching, or, if I'm working out and something's not going the way, I have conversations with my body. I have conversations with my emotions. I have conversations with my energetic fields, and people think that it's a little bit crazy to do that. But honestly, guys, all of these things are coming up in your life because they're showing you a better version of you. So quick life hack, just learn to have a conversation with all of the things that you feel are blocking you in your life, right? Literally, because you subconscious mind, you guys know I'm an NLP trainer and a quantum energy trainer, and your energy and your mind need to understand what's going on. Your inner child is seeking answers. And so when you have a conversation with your body, when you have a conversation with fear, when you have a conversation with whatever's going on in your life, it allows your subconscious to actually say, oh, well, wait, it's safe to actually to look at the fear, and it's safe to actually look at my body and see what's going on, and going deeper into that. So the best way to do that, guys, is just start to have relationships with your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit. Because I promise you, the second you start to connect on that level is the second you take yourself to the next level and you elevate. So we're gonna go have a quick break, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna bring Taylor on. And I promise you guys, you want to stay till the end because you want to ask Taylor some beautiful questions about making the mind-body connection. So the sponsor for today's show is my company, Infinite Wellness, and the Soul on Fire show is sponsored today by Noel Agape Global and Infinite Wellness, and we will be right back. See you soon. Hi guys, welcome back, and thank you for joining us again. I'm so excited to have Taylor Bosker here. She is a master in fitness. She is a master in mindset, and she's a coach. She is a quantum healer, and she is just so beautiful and so powerful. So thank you guys for joining us, and again, thank you guys for the ones that are watching the replay. We are so excited. Hey Taylor, welcome. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for having me on here. It's so fun to get together with you.
I know, it really is. Well, we spoke about this exact topic. I guess it was like 2 years ago already, right? At an event that
maybe even more.
Yeah, we had an live event in Malibu, and we both spoke about the mind-body connection. And so, tell us a little bit about what you do. Tell us a little bit about who you are, and just the importance of making the mind-body connection.
Yeah, so I initially, real quick, had a lot of trouble with my health physically, also mentally, emotionally. So that kind of put me in a position to have to go on a little path to figure out, okay, how do I fix all of these things? Because the outside help I was seeking wasn't working for me. So I started getting into fitness because that really, triggers good emotions in you and really helps as a natural medication, I call it. So I became a personal trainer, started getting into that world, training clients privately. And then I started studying nutrition more. And then I kept going deeper and reached meditation, started teaching meditation as well. Then went even deeper and started life coaching. So I'm all the above. And really the importance is that so many people struggle with their bodies, whether it's the way it looks, how they feel about the way it looks, physical ailments, not losing weight. Everything has to do with the mind-body connection. So you might try a fad diet or this 30-day workout program that you only work out 5 minutes a day. And, all these things you hear, they don't work for you. And you're feeling like you have to constantly try and try. It doesn't need to be that hard as long as you figure out how to make that mind-body connection. So that's really what I work with people on.
Wow, that's so amazing. And so let's go deep and talk a little bit about your relationships that you had with your body, because I know your story is so amazing, and just overcoming what you've overcome to get to. I mean, you're absolutely gorgeous, and you're a model and an actress on top of doing everything else that you do. So let's talk about like the deep things that went on with you, and I feel with me, life happened. I had to face death with my family, right? I had to face my father and my grandfather, and then illness, like my father died of a heart attack, my grandfather had cancer, my mom had cancer, and that pulled me into wellness. And from that space, from death, I found life, and from illness, I found health, right? So what's your story, and how did you get to where you are, where you're becoming such a master at the body and understanding the body and the mind?
Yeah. So initially, when I was super young, probably started fourth grade from what I can remember, I honestly had so much negativity toward myself, and I would have these thoughts of telling myself I'm stupid, telling myself I'm not good enough, telling myself I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough. And that was the conversations going on in my mind. And I became obsessed with trying to get skinnier because I thought I was fat. Looking back now, I see, oh, I just had a little bit of baby weight on me, but I would tell myself these horrible things, and I was just so sad inside. And people maybe wouldn't have known that, but it was so deep inside me, and I did not like myself. I thought nobody loved me. Meanwhile, I have this loving family and I had friends, but it was just these deep rooted beliefs inside myself that was taking away all of my life joy. So I started getting a little too obsessed, and I would starve myself a bit. And I was very obsessed with getting better, but also telling myself, I hate you. And, these awful things that makes me want to go back and hug myself. But, yeah, right. So, then that led me to just know, there's something better than this. I don't deserve to be crying all the time. I don't deserve to be hiding my true feelings, feeling like nobody understands me because I never told anyone that I felt so awful. I thought there was something wrong with me. And it just got worse and worse as years went by. So from that struggle, it led me to have to figure out a way to love my body instead of hating it, because then it was only declining in physical health as well. And I now know it's because I was putting terrible emotions into my physical body, because my body is my subconscious mind. So clearly my body was my first place to hate on, because that I must have been holding, deep negative beliefs in my body. So my mind was very attached to those beliefs, and that was my truth. Meanwhile, it's not the truth at all. So that led me to trying to research, okay, why is nothing working for me? Why I can look a certain way but still hate myself? I'm getting to these points. Okay, if I get here, then I'll be happy. If I get here, then I'll be happy. And I was in that if-then pattern. And then I finally came to know that I'm never going to get to the right then, it's always going to be if then. So I knew I had to find a way to be happy now, and a way to actually love myself. And it just led me down this path of first starting with the body. How do I feed it what it needs? Because I realized, okay, our bodies are designed to thrive. They're so intelligent, but if you're putting this hate into it, then it's going to go downhill. If you're not treating it right, it's going to go downhill. I started holding on to more weight. Again, not that I was unhealthily overweight or anything, but for me, it was a tragedy at that time, And so then I realized, okay, I'm not giving my body the nutrients it needs. So it's not going to do what I want it to do, because that's where the relationship comes in with your body. You have to work with it. And I was very against it. So it was working against me. I then had all these weird things happen where I had a bunch of concussions, and my health went down even further. Started getting arthritis in all my joints. I started having all this inflammation in my eyes, a whole spectrum of issues that kind of were autoimmune related started happening. And so by that point, I was doing what was right for my body, but I still was experiencing terrible physical health. And so then I realized, okay, it's so much more than my body. This is about my mind, because it was so hard to stay positive and feel good about things when I was feeling so ill. And so after a little bit, I got a life coach actually, and that triggered me to understand that my thoughts were way all over the place in a negative way. And even though I thought I was being positive and pushing through, I was just burning out. So I started diving deep. I read hundreds of books on the brain and how it works and how it affects us, how our brain gets addicted to certain emotions because we get a chemical release when we feel an emotion. So it's like being addicted to a substance. Our brain gets addicted to that release. So learning all about that and then combining that with health, I learned how to build a really solid relationship with my body. And like you were saying, okay, I'm feeling a weird pain in my hip. Let me go into meditation and talk to my hip, as weird as that sounds.
Yeah.
And I get an answer. And they say, listen to your body. But you really have to learn to listen to your body because a lot of us are so blocked from that. So that's what kind of led me into having to combine the two, to look your best, feel your best, have your most thriving health, and also achieve a lot of things in life through that simple mind-body connection.
That's so beautiful. And there's so many golden nuggets within that segment right there that you just said. Let's talk a lot about self-love, because I mean, you're drop dead gorgeous, right? And you're beautiful, you're young, you're intelligent, and you actually, you know, really had your biggest detriment was your self-love, and you weren't loving on yourself, right? And so let's talk about body image and how important that is, especially for our younger viewers, right? You know, just what would be a life hack that you can give someone that to tell them, you know, so often, especially as women, right? I mean, I'm going to be 50 on Christmas Day, and you and I just had this conversation, right? Is that I live, I breathe, everything is health and wellness, right? I mean, everything that goes into me, and it's about 80-20, you know, 20% of the time I'm enjoying my life and I'm living okay, and I'm having fun. And the other 80% I'm clean, but I'm constantly moving my body. I'm constantly meditating. I'm constantly taking who I am and embodying my vessel, because I have enough self-respect and self-love. And it took me a long time to get here, to teach it, right? So you know, let's maybe talk about self-love and body image and how, you know, that important that is to the component of making the mind-body connection and being in alignment.
Yeah. So I think a good question for yourself is, would you say this to somebody else? And maybe think about someone you know that you really care about, maybe your sister or even your mom or, you know, a friend. Would you say this to them? And start to recognize what thoughts you have in your head. So, oh, I look terrible, or I'm so fat, or I look so ugly. Why am I gross? You know, just the extreme things that a lot of us do say. Would you say that to somebody that you love? The answer is really no. So and then maybe say, why wouldn't I say that? Probably because it's not true. Also because you want to be kind. And how would that person react to you if you did treat them poorly like that? Yeah. They wouldn't want anything to do with you, and they wouldn't react in a positive way. So if you're talking to yourself that way, your physical body is not going to react in a positive way. So understanding the science of it too really helped me, and helps my clients when I try to teach them. It actually is energetic. So our thoughts really do come to fruition the more you program it. So it's like, okay, I'm going on a diet and I'm not going to have sugar. You're telling your brain, I'm not going to have sugar, but you're still thinking about sugar. So then your brain is sugar, 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 sugar. And that's why it's so hard to refrain from having it. We all know what that's like. And then you get down on yourself. I'm a failure. And so it all just spirals down and down. Then maybe you'll stress eat and you'll have that sugar. And then again, you feel worse about yourself. So you have to see how that triggers, and it's really not your fault. You're not a failure. You're not doing the wrong thing. It's really about your mind. So if you could get into your mind, become a little bit aware of what you're thinking, because a lot of times people don't even think about what they're thinking. And when you recognize, oh, wow, that's awful. I just said that about myself. Think, okay, what feels better than this? So what's something I could think about myself that feels a little better than what that thought made me feel? So maybe it's saying, I'm so fat, I need to lose weight. Well, instead you might say, to make that a little bit better, because saying, oh, I'm skinny is not going to work in that moment, but maybe say, I'm doing the best I can, and I'm excited to nourish my body with the proper foods. So you're focusing on the positive end, even though maybe you're not where you want to be. That's okay. We still always have goals, and it's fine if you want to look different and stuff. But if you treat yourself with that kindness, and I think self-love gets thrown around so much, but when you can learn the science of it, you realize how much you're not loving yourself with those thoughts. And your body is here and carries your spirit through life. It's like, why would you want to treat it poorly? Your body is alive, and it is your subconscious mind. So it is going to pretty much be programmed to help you be guided through your life. So you want to be guided with love. And so you have to treat your body that way, as if it's almost a separate person, because we're a spirit and we have our body. So just like saying, okay, I'm going to treat my mom kind, or my sister, tell them they're beautiful because they are, and I see that beauty. You have to focus on trying to see that for yourself. So talk to your body as if it's someone else's, in a way.
That's so beautiful. And thank you for saying that. I really, truly believe like the relationship with your body is one of the most important relationships that you have, right? And it's not egoic in any way. It is putting yourself first, right? But this is our vessel. We get this vessel in this time. And so if you're not looking in the mirror and loving and honoring who you are and loving all that you are and all that it encompasses with, and, you know, yes, there's a lot of the biochemical stuff that is going on with the mind and the body, and that we're going to go deep into that as well in the next segment. But one of the most important things with self-love is just truly honoring you as you. And, you know, there's so many limiting beliefs, and the 5 core beliefs that come up all the time is I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not safe, secure, and protected in my body, I'm not whole and complete, or I'm not, you know, I'm not good enough. And we look at outside and we look at the external world, and we judge ourselves so often, right? And if there's judgment ever on the outside world about someone that is overweight or someone that's not eating healthy, it's really the judgment within yourself, right? So what I want to talk a little bit about is truly just going deep into that. Like, what would it take to basically just, what do you do with your clients? Do you go in and do you transform? Like, I go in and I read people's pantries and I say, okay, you know, start reading labels, but you can't go from McDonald's all the way to eating clean like we do, right? I mean, because your body goes through this deep detox, right? And so what would you say to some of your clients that are not healthy with their body? And what would you say, like, because again, we're going to go deeper into the energetics of it in a little bit and later in the show, but just specifically for the body, give us some tips about what you would say to your clients about getting whole and complete with your body.
Yeah, so definitely getting enough nutrients. Believe it or not, a lot of people who are overweight don't get enough nutrients. So I would work with them to plan out their days, basically. Not super specific, because if you're too strict right away, it's setting yourself up to kind of fail. So having them ease into it, depending on their level and where they're at. But a good sample day that I might give someone is, okay, start the morning with a smoothie it's just packed with nutrients. So you're going to have a whole list of greens: celery, cucumber, kale, spinach. Might do blueberries, depending on how much food you need in that moment, maybe some banana, and then perhaps have you add some different ingredients for your brain. I do this mushroom mix that's really good for brain health. Get some good fats in there, maybe a little coconut oil, and then a plant-based protein that, again, really clean, no chemicals, which is another thing, no chemicals, because chemicals actually add toxins to your body, and then your fat cells stick to the toxins. So you're making it harder to lose weight. So it's like, I can't have a Coke because I'm trying to be healthier, but I'll get a Diet Coke. Mm-hmm. No, you're putting chemicals in your body, and it's actually making your stomach bigger. So as natural as possible from the earth. Maybe a little bit later, you have a handful of almonds and an apple. Then lunch, have a lean protein. If you're going to have animal protein, make sure it's grass-fed, no hormones, no antibiotic, same thing with the chemicals there. And some veggies, some healthy carbs, maybe sweet potato, similar meal for dinner. If you need a treat, that's okay. A lot of us do have some dark chocolate. So keeping it really simple and not too insanely strict and measured and all that, but so natural. So if it's from the earth, it's going to give you something good. So focusing on that and no processed foods, just very, very simple, clean eating. And at first, have as much vegetables as you want, have as much as you want of that kind of clean food, and then we'll ease down a little bit to get yourself used to it. And a big tip is the first week is always going to be the hardest. After you get through 1 week, your willpower is less needed because
and you're not addicted to the sugars or the caffeine or anything, right? Right.
Exactly. And so then you're going to feel the effects too, good ones, and say, oh, wow, this is actually great because I feel so good. I don't even want that Reese's on the table at the work office. Like I don't even want it because I'd rather feel this way. But it takes a few days to get over the desire for everything you're addicted to. So definitely easing off is smart for long term. And then movement. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's literally, you just said movement. And so that's really what I wanted to talk about next was the biochemicals, right? And so, I say all the time, move your body in some way, eat as clean as you can and move your body, right? And so the biochemicals that shoot from to your brain, right? I say all the time, our three brains are our actual brain, our heart, which is, vibrates at a higher frequency. And we'll talk about that in the next segment when we talk about energy. And then our gut is a second brain, right? And so the serotonin, the oxytocin, the biochemicals that get shot to the brain when you have exercise. So let's talk about exercise. You're a personal trainer. Let's talk about the importance of exercise and moving your body. Once you're eating clean, we've got them on the path of eating clean or cleaner for some of our viewers, right? And cleaner meaning not like having a salad and dumping goopy salad dressing on it, right? Just it's good that you're getting the vegetables, but also start to make conscious choices with everything that you eat. But the biochemicals of your body, every cell in our body is energy. Everything that we put in our body is a vibration, right? And again, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's talk about the serotonin and the oxytocin and the dopamine that gets shot to your brain as soon as you exercise. And they call it a runner's high for a reason, right? Because you get to a level where you're at a level of consciousness and your brain goes into a theta state and it literally gets shot with all of these endorphins. So let's talk about the mind and the body connection now and how you feel better. And when you look better and you're eating better and you're eating cleaner and you're moving your body, let's talk about the connection to the mind and how important that is.
Yeah. So if you're stagnant, your energy is going to be pretty stagnant, and it's the same thing with your body. Your blood's going to be more stagnant. You're not going to have the best circulation. Your body's not going to be at this high functioning level. And so it's not going to be able to produce all the chemicals it needs to, like you're saying, the serotonin at the highest functioning level. So again, starting small, there's nothing wrong with that. You can go for walks and it's going to make a big difference. Make a commitment to, even in the morning, what I like to do is I literally get up out of bed. And doesn't matter how tired I am or anything, I do a plank because it warms up your core, which is, your main center, just how you were saying, your brain there. And you can't believe what 1 minute of a plank can do to actually get your brain moving. So you're getting your body moving, it's waking up, then your brain is waking up, your mind is waking up. So then you're able to actually adjust yourself. Whereas if your body's still asleep, you're basically going to be a robot. Get up, let me walk, brush my teeth. Same thing I do every morning. I'm not consciously thinking at all. It's just
drinking coffee to get awake and then spiking and then going down, right?
Yeah. So in the morning, if you just choose one movement that can get your blood flowing, I think planks are perfect because it doesn't, you don't have to jump around and stuff. Just get out of your bed and go for it. That's the perfect time to then set yourself up for the day because you have things turned on right then and there, and you can consciously decide how you're going to live that day. So like every morning I energy prime, and if I'm going for a run that day or whatever the exercise may be, if I don't energy prime in the morning, I don't want to do it as much because I didn't turn myself on right away. And the morning is the clean slate for you to start how you want to start. So it's the best time to go ahead and do that. But something with listening to your body too, you don't want to exercise too hard. Even myself, if I do a super tough HIIT workout, which is just a bunch of body weight movements, but it's a lot of impact, I actually feel inflamed the next day. It was too much stress on my body. So I have to really listen to that, and I've gotten good at it. But a lot of people push themselves too hard, and it's actually going to hold you back from results because it's going to cause you to release the stress hormone too much. So you have to kind of find that sweet spot for you personally. And maybe that's just going on 30-minute walks 4 days a week and then doing yoga 2 other days a week. Or maybe it's simply going for a jog twice a week and then doing some push-ups and planks and squats 3 times a week. Every body is different. And that's why I like to work closely one-on-one with my clients, because everyone has their sweet spot. No matter what, I'm in great shape from exercising so much and eating right, but still I choose not to do as intensive a workout as one might think because I know my body's reaction to it. So it's so much more than just pushing yourself to the ground. It's about really loving yourself enough to acknowledge what your body's telling you.
I love that so much. And I think the old way of fitness used to be that, you work really hard and you just, I think moving your body in some way during the everyday is really important, whether it's a 10-minute walk or yoga, but don't push your body right beyond its limits. Listening to your body. I love that you energy prime every morning. I meditate for an hour every morning before I wake up, and I meditate for an hour before I go to bed. I set my intentions in the morning, and then I literally clear my energy at night. And we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Thank you, Taylor, so much for those life hacks. We'll be right back. We're in a couple minutes, and then we're going to talk about energy and mastering your energy and becoming the best version of yourself by making the mind-body connection. We'll see you soon, guys. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for everyone that's watching the replay. We're super, super excited because today we have Taylor Bosco, a master in mind-body connection, and we just spoke about making the body connection and the mind connection. Now we're going to go deep into the energetic fields. We're going to learn about making the mind-body connection and how that's related to your soul's purpose. Welcome back, Taylor. Thanks for being here again. So tell us a little bit about now the next level from where we were. We started with the body, and we talked about the importance of nutrition, and we talked about the importance of how getting the good nutrition in your body is fueling your body to actually move and motivate your body, motivate your brain. We talked about movement, and we talked about how the chemicals in your body, when you actually move your body, triggers your brain to have pretty much like a happy pill, right? And so let's talk about meditation. I know you're a meditation teacher. I'm a meditation teacher. It's a deep part of our practice. It's a deep part of health and wellness. Let's talk about meditation. Let's talk about your energy and mastering your energy, because that's the next level, right, guys? You can't just eat an avocado. You can't go for a run and have an avocado and think that you're healthy. You have to be healthy, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And if you're not moving towards your soul's purpose, if you're not living your life from complete joy, that's not overall wellness, right? So let's talk a little bit about that, Taylor.
Yeah, so just like our body needs fitness, so do our brains and our minds. And, there's so much out there about mental health, and it's so important to put emphasis on that with yourself. Even if you think, I feel okay most of the time, you might be missing out on so much joy that you're capable of feeling and so many experiences you're capable of having. And from human to human, I know what it's like to really suffer on a deep, deep level with sadness and not feeling good enough and guilt for no reason and just so much suffering. And I have to say, you don't need to be in that state. And what you're experiencing is energy stuck. You're stuck and addicted to those emotions, but it's not the real you. And so you have to kind of refine the real you and then program your mind and body to be aligned with that, because we are all pure love and very pure joy. And we do get to live aligned with that most of the time if you learn all of this and put it into practice. So a lot of times, our energy, our body is automatically programmed. So we're kind of running on autopilot. So as I mentioned with energy priming in the morning, that's when I do my meditation. I do the plank to kind of wake myself up first. And then I sit down and I do about a 20-minute meditation, sometimes 30, kind of just depends. And as you start to meditate, for those of you who haven't tried it too often, you're going to have that urge to move. So I like guided meditations, or I do my own and I play music. But no matter what you're doing, your body's going to say like, oh, I don't want to do this. Your mind's going to race with thoughts. Takes a moment to get rid of that. But something really important to remember is that you have to tell your body that you're in control. So if you feel the urge to move your arm and you want to get up, you say, oh, no, I know what you're doing. You're trying to stay in the state that you've been in because you don't want change to happen. Well, no, I want the change. So I'm going to decide. And you fight that urge. Then it'll go away. And it's not easy, but it's not that hard, and it's so wildly worth it, because these small steps of getting control back and getting rid of what's already programmed in you that's not serving you, it changes everything in your life. So meditation is so important for that, to be able to find the clarity in yourself, to even become aware enough to figure out what you want and then how to get it. And you're going to reprogram emotions that serve you, because when you're feeling joy, usually you attract things that align with that joy, and all of a sudden you're feeling happier. Just like, I'm having a good day. Oh, I just got the front parking spot. Everything's working out. Everything's going smooth.
I have an agreement with the parking gods, by the way. I always get the best parking in the world. I really do.
It always depends on my mood. That's why it's my favorite example.
Yeah. Well, and that's a great point. So everything depends on your mood, right? Everything is energy. And that is truly, when we say, and this is not woo-woo, guys, it's just science. Everything is just energy. And so we're literally connecting. Every cell of our body has energy in it. And we're connecting to a frequency with our vibrations that we're emanating out. And so the vibrations of anger and hurt and sadness and guilt and shame and all of those lower vibrations, when you're feeling those, that's actually what you're emanating out to the world, right? And so meditation helps you align you and getting into the highest version of you by connecting your mind and your body. It allows you the space to just have no space. And everyone's like, what does that even mean, right? It's when you are in a space, and there's different stages of your brain that are more malleable. Your brain is malleable most in a theta and a gamma state. And that's, I'll go deep into the brain in another episode. But when you're in a meditative state, it allows you to hear more consciously about what's going on with your body and what's going on with your life, and why you're feeling the anger and why you're feeling all of those things that are triggering you in your life. And so many people say to me, Noelle, how do you quiet my mind, right? That's a big one. Do you get that often, is how do you quiet your mind? And what I tell them often is really just, meditation doesn't always have to be you're sitting and meditating. Yes, we do deep meditations, and we teach deep meditations and guided meditations, starting off with 10 minutes a day. If you can get there, getting your brain to a theta state. Just if you can't do that, like mountain biking or connecting with nature or going to the ocean or anything that you can do that actually relaxes you, is putting you in a theta state. So let's talk about the difference between the energetic states of the frequencies and getting yourself to a higher frequency so you can be a better version of yourself.
Yeah. So a quick way to understand it as well. I like to say, okay, if you're on a rap music station on the radio, that's a certain frequency. You're going to hear the music they're playing. Whereas if you're on a different frequency of a country music station, you're going to hear country songs. You're not going to hear what's on the rap station when you're on the other station. So that's just like how we work. If I'm in a frustrated mood, that means I'm on a frequency that might be down here. And then all of a sudden I'm experiencing more things that frustrate me. I'm like, see, today, I knew today was bad, or you reaffirm it, and then you're proving it to yourself that that's the truth of what you're feeling. Whereas if you're feeling, if you're in a laughing mood and you're higher up, you're going to just keep experiencing fun. So you literally attract what you're vibrating, and emotion is just energy in motion. So if you think, sometimes I try not to take myself too seriously if I'm having anxiety for something and I can't figure out what it's from. It's not from some outer condition. It's something internal. I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want to be on this frequency. So what feels a little better than this? And I try to get myself to thinking about something that feels a little better. If I'm super low, it's like I can't really fight it because I'm so low that I'm not going to get up here. I just have to get one step above and then one step above. So for those of you who feel like, okay, when I'm feeling really stressed, I can't sit down and do a meditation. As you were saying, there are other methods. I say, try to listen to your 5 senses. So you're not stuck in the past of what you might be thinking about, and that's why you're feeling sad, or stuck in the future, which is, maybe feeling anxious about some future event or worried something is going to go wrong. Because when you're doing that, you're actually not in your present moment, and your present moment is the only place that you can do anything. So you don't want to be in your past. You don't want to be in your future. You want to be here. So to do that, you can think about your senses. This sounds a little weird, but think about, touching a water bottle. How does that feel? You're literally in the moment when you have to focus on that. Maybe listen to something, a happy song that you like, because that is a higher frequency. Music is also frequencies. And really listen to the words, like really use your sense there. Or going for a walk and seeing how a leaf is created and just looking at it, just gazing at it. Really focus on, whoa, how is that designed? How is that made? Which is really cool once you actually take time to do that, which sounds so weird. But it's putting your focus back in the present moment and bringing control back to you instead of being attached to an autopilot going in completely different realms that don't exist, because only right now exists. So getting present is the most powerful way to then attune your vibration to be on a higher level. And we are all made of the highest vibration. That's our purity. But we have these thoughts and certain things that happen that we lower ourselves down, and it's only natural. But focusing on just getting a little bit better makes all the difference, because before you know it, you'll be way at the top.
That's so true. It's so true. And so I always say, just, the key tip to raising your vibration, and people don't really understand, they throw the word vibration and frequency around so much, right? And so again, the perfect example is the radio frequency, right? If you're on an AM station, you can't be listening to country on FM, right? You have to get within the frequency. But the one thing that I do want to say is that if anger is showing up in your life, then joy is there. It has to be there because of the law of polarity, right? So if something is showing up in your life, whether it's frustration or anxiety or depression or whatever it may be, at the other end of that is truly, it's the same strand, it's the same frequency. You have to, same vibration, you just have to get to a different frequency of it, right? And so you have to find the core root of the problem. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to be happy today, let's be happy, right? That's never going to work. You have to find things that bring you joy, but you also have to do the inner work, right? And that's the most important thing is finding out why you're angry and going back and actually having a conversation with that anger, and sometimes even healing your inner child, but not staying there, and then moving to something that brings you joy, right? And doing something that brings you joy. And the higher frequencies are at joy and love and expansion. And, when you are living your life with the mind-body connection, that is truly when you are like dancing with the universe, is what I say all the time, right? And so I am so excited because I do want to talk about you coming on board for Infinite Wellness, and I want to talk about Infinite Wellness and what that looks like if to everybody. So those of you that don't know me, I'm a health and wellness counselor. I'm an NLP master trainer, and I'm also an quantum energy trainer as well. I've been doing this for 17 years, and now I have brought on some amazing, beautiful coaches to work with me and everyone in our company. What we have built is one of the most beautiful things that I mean, it's conscious, it's beautiful. We're bringing wellness to the world. It is truly a hub of all wellness, whether it's you're doing yoga or whether you want to work in the quantum fields or you want a personal trainer. We have pretty much everyone across the board. So Taylor, tell us a little bit about your journey, and then coming to, my coach taught me, Regan Hillier taught me about you move from solopreneur to entrepreneur to solopreneur, freedompreneur to entrepreneur to making global impact, right? And together we are the change. We're making global impact with this beautiful hub of conscious, right now, women, but we're encouraging as many men to come too. We're not inviting men, but we have a hub of wellness that we have created, right? And I've created this so to bring different types of wellness out to the world. Again, whether it's yoga or the quantum fields or personal fitness or health and wellness, we have licensed therapists on staff. Talk to us a little bit about that and your journey coming here and getting there.
Yeah, so I have had my own business, which started out as personal training, as I said. I've taken people on travel retreats as well, meditation, teaching, and full-on life coaching. So I've been doing that for about 6 years and always on my own. And there's been times where I'm craving, being part of something. I mean, doing that with my clients is huge, but being part of something that can offer more, and how can I do this in a bigger way? Because I've always, I want to expand and help as many people as I can. And Noelle, I actually spoke at one of her retreats in Malibu, met her in California, and it was just like, we're so aligned. And I believe so much in what she does. And when she contacted me that she was moving into global impact, I was like, this is literally what I've been writing down for what's next for me. So it was just the most perfect moment, not by coincidence. And now I'm joining in, and I'm to Infinite Wellness. I'm bringing, personal training, personal nutrition, mind-body connection coaching, and quantum healing. So there's kind of phases. So we'll start with your body and then move to your mind, and then move into the energy work. So I'm really excited to be bringing it to the table and helping you reach more people. And I know there's the whole team. There's just so many different coaches that do something different, and it's just such a complete little world we're building.
Well, I am so blessed to have you on this journey. And it was literally like you and I met and we're like, oh, hey. And it was like, we just started talking, right? And we connected instantly, and we knew that there was something deeper. And then we kind of went off on our own journeys and then came back together. And I'm so super excited to bring this out to the world, because it's truly a hub of all wellness, right? I mean, everything that you can possibly imagine in any form of wellness is going to be there. And so we're super, super excited for that. You ready for some questions for some viewers?
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody said, Danny said, how do you start? How do you even get started with making the mind-body connection? What are the key components to all three?
So to start, I would say take a moment and maybe start to write down what emotions you experience most often, to kind of just get an assessment of where you are at currently. And that'll tell you a lot, maybe the top 5 emotions you feel most often. And then start to think about, okay, if it's anxiety, I'm feeling that probably in my chest. What's going on there? And just start to kind of talk to your body, say, anxiety, what are you teaching me? And that's a huge part of making that connection, because you are then conversating and you don't normally do that. So you'll be surprised if you just are patient and ask yourself questions based on what you're feeling. Talk to your body as if it's almost separate from you. You will get some answers if you're patient, and it'll get easier to understand it as you go. And as for improving in physical fitness and how you're eating. The mind-body connection is so helpful for that, because what you can do is say, okay, do I want to put this in my body to thrive? Will it help me thrive, or will it take me down a notch? And just focus on how it's going to make you feel. It's all about how you feel. And if you're honest with yourself, the sugar's not going to make you feel good, and the vegetables will. It's simple as that. Moving, you'll feel better after. Staying on the couch, you're not going to feel good. So doing what makes you feel a little bit better is going to raise your frequency as well, and have your body communicate and move toward what you want.
I love that. Well, I don't know who asked this, but somebody asked if you're single.
I am.
She is, guys. There you go. I'm not, but she is. So another person said, how would you start meditating if you've never meditated before? How long is a good amount of time to meditate to get into the theta state?
Everyone's different, but I would say give yourself a small start, like 5 minutes. You could either put on some meditation music you find on YouTube or something, and find a 5-minute one, maybe 10 if you can get yourself to do that, and focus on your breathing. Maybe start simple breathing meditation. So inhale for the count of 3, hold it at the top for a count of 2, exhale for 4, and just repeat that, because then you'll start to experience thoughts coming in. Refocus to your breath. Every time there's a thought, don't be mad at it. Don't judge it. Let it go. Let it pass like a cloud in the sky, and then refocus to your breathing. As simple as that, that's going to help teach you how to start getting further into meditation, and then you can move on to longer. And
that's beautiful. That's perfect. I couldn't even add anything to that. So that's amazing. So do you do personal training online as well?
Yeah, so I'm actually fully online. Once in a while, I'll do things in person, especially in this current world. It's all virtual. And we can do either video, we can even do some FaceTime sessions. So again, depends on the person's preference, and very, very customized.
Okay. And then the final question is, what should you do if you have battling anxiety on a daily basis? First of all, if it's that severe, you should absolutely change your diet. You should absolutely change your mindset. And guys, those of you that don't know me, I had anxiety for years. I was on medication right after my divorce. I haven't been on medication in 14 years because I eat clean, I exercise, I work out. And so how you can handle and manage your body and your energy is really entirely up to you. You get to choose. There are waves of anxiety that sometimes come through me, but my practice has truly saved my life. How about you, Taylor? What would you suggest for that?
I suggest definitely starting simple. Be easy on yourself. Know that it's not going to change a snap of a finger, but you can take steps to start to clear it. And don't feel more anxiety that you have to do these things to clear it, because then you're just going to add more pressure and make it worse. So go for a walk, have something nutritious, start to align yourself with doing that every single day. Again, can just be something easy, but really there's something, if you're experiencing it so often, there's something deep in there that you need to probably face, because that's really just an alarm system. Your body's sending you an alarm, an alert, saying, hey, you need to take a look at this. You need to take a look at this. And once you do, you'll free yourself from it. So it's hard to say in general what to do, but trying to do a meditation, going for a simple walk, getting movement, turning your brain chemicals that you want back on, eating properly, getting enough sleep, that is massive.
And honestly, like, if you're not sleeping at night, then there's something massively going on within you internally. And I don't care what anybody says, but sleep and water are the two most important components of your overall body wellness, for sure. Right?
Oh yeah. Sleep. I can't get under 7 hours or under 6 hours, or I'm not a good person.
Yeah.
But it's,
I function, but not very well. You know, I
yeah.
mean, the adrenaline's, and you push yourself and you push yourself and you push yourself, and then your body's going to crash and you're going to get sick, right? And guys, actually, that's when your body talks to you, is during the sleep, right? It's so you have to learn and honor. I make space. My sleeping space is sacred. Like, my bedroom is so sacred because I meditate there. You know, I clear my energy at the end of the night. And going deep into the energetic fields, if you guys want to learn more about that, you could literally contact us or go to noelagape.com. But really, you know, clearing your energy before you go to bed. Don't watch TV before you go to bed. Don't, you know, read before you go to bed. Quiet your mind before you go to bed, because if you are doing something that is triggering you and watching the news, doing something that is triggering you right before you're going to bed, you're bringing that into your sleep with you. And sleep is one of the most important components of wellness. It really is. So Taylor, where can everybody find you? I know that you're joining Infinite Wellness, and I'm so excited for you to be on board with us. And where can they find you right now in the interim?